Hi, this is Mike Hendrickson from Strata and Hadoop World in New York City at the Javits Center. I'm here with Amr Awadallah. And you're with Cloudera. You're one of the co-founders.
Correct.
And you're now CTO.
That's correct.
And so what is on your agenda? So you're the CTO. Where are you wanting to shape and take Cloudera?
Yeah. So we are on a journey. We have a very clear mission. And the mission we have is delivering this platform that we refer to as the Enterprise Data Hub, that I like to succinctly say is a multi-in, multi-out platform.
Multi-in and multi-out.
Multi-in, multi-out. So what does that mean? Multi-in, it means it can take any type of data, whether that be transaction data, which is very well structured, very well defined, or semi-structured data, like click streams or logs from web servers, or unstructured data, like emails, PDF documents, images, videos. Combine all of that on the inside. So how do we take all of that on the inside? But on the outside, leverage that in many different ways. So we can query that data using SQL, which is very good for structured data, or using search, which is good for text kind of documents, or using Spark, which is very good for unstructured machine learning, predictive modeling kind of algorithms, etc., etc., etc. Multi-in, multi-out. That's the mission that we're after. And allow organizations now to essentially leverage the power of all of their data to ask bigger questions. And today, we're just at the beginning of that movement. We're just getting organizations to start to put some of their data, a tiny bit of their data in this platform. And our goal is to keep pushing that until really all of their data is in this platform, because it's much more capable.
So we're at that point in the whole industry, right? So data, when you look back 4 years and you had your own Hadoop world, and 480 people came, and now you look around, there's 5,000, and you can hear this is a vibrant ecosystem and community.
Yes.
How do we go so quick? And is the acceleration and the next generation of this going to be as fast? Or have we kind of come up the stick?
Very good question. So I think the short answer is because we're lucky.
Or timing.
Excellent timing. We just hit it at the right time. And the reality of it is, the reason why this is just exploding like this is data is exploding. That's why. So organizations left and right are amassing much bigger amounts of data than ever before because of two key trends. One key trend is the IT industry. That's the IT movement that was started many, many decades ago is now maturing, where a lot of the organizations, their full infrastructure is now fully automated, and these machines are just spewing data left and right. Okay, so that's one thing. And then the other thing is the Internet of Things. Not only are we collecting data about our IT in the back office, but now we're collecting data about our customers in the field, right? Because of RFID tags, low power Bluetooth, mobile phones, satellites, imagery, beacons. We're collecting way more data, and that's just growing. It's just growing by leaps and bounds. That's why. That's why this is growing as quick as it is. And that's why it will continue to grow as big as we predict it will. So today in the keynote, Mike Olson said this is going to be a $1 trillion industry. Not Cloudera, all of us together. That's how big this industry is going to be if you were to extrapolate where we are today, given the growth rates of data.
So we might have to revisit that 1 trillion, because I bet you Gartner is going to come out and say the Internet of Things is going to be bigger than 1 trillion in itself. And it could be. If we really see the potential.
They feed each other though.
Yeah.
Right? So the more Internet of Things out there, the more big data, because all of these things are spewing out data.
So you have a platform, so many in and many out.
Yes.
And your many in means the Internet of Things as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Coming in,
absolutely.
But it can feed back out to them as well.
Absolutely. How do you control? Yes, of course. Right? Like, if you have a device that's on you that's monitoring your insulin levels, and now you can in real time control that device and get it to inject at the right time, or you have your power switch at home that's regulating your energy consumption, and you get to control that in real time, etc. Yeah, this is going to be.
Or your watch would say that you've had too much to drink.
Buzzes you that you should get up and start walking.
Yeah, that could be useful.
Gives you a small shock. Yeah. That's time to take a walk right now.
Or no more drinks.
Or stop drinking. You're right.
So, as an ecosystem, though, growing into this $1 trillion economy that we'd like to see around the data world.
Yeah.
Does everyone play well together in this industry? It seems like it is a good. People are dependent on others, and yet they have their own platforms. But there doesn't seem like there's only one way to do data. Is that a fair thing to say?
Yes, it's a very fair statement. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is the open source nature of the core platform, right? So open source, and definitely, and especially open source with the Apache Soap Foundation, encourages this kind of community effect and lots of developers working together on the same solution, even though in the business side they might be competing with each other, but on the implementation side, on the technology side, they have to collaborate with each other. So that is definitely creating a bigger industry than it would have been otherwise. Like, I don't think this would have grown as quick as it would have without this open source kind of community effect boiling in the middle of it.
That's great. So the open source ethos has helped the data world grow much quicker than it could have.
Absolutely, no question about it.
And there are tons of open source tools sitting on all the even proprietary platforms.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's hybrid models and
Yes, there is pure open source, there is hybrid where some is open, some is proprietary, and then there's pure proprietary. Like there's a number of companies building proprietary solutions on top of this platform. But they all have to collaborate at the end. They all have to collaborate on the core. That's the key point.
Exactly.
And that's why we all have to work together. So otherwise the core will not evolve.
Is the core Hadoop?
That's a very good question. So
it seems like...
I think it's the seed. It's the seed of the core.
The seed of the core, okay.
And it's definitely today it is the core, for sure. Especially when you talk about Hadoop, the storage layer, the HDFS file system where the data sits. Absolutely, that is the foundation that we all depend on. But then we're seeing some shifts now happening above HDFS. So you have the Apache Spark project, which is kind of like the new version of MapReduce. There is the original Hadoop MapReduce, but now there is the Apache Spark MapReduce, which frankly was done in a much more kind of efficient way to leverage not just lots of disks and lots of CPUs, but also lots of memory. How do I leverage all the memory I have? Right? Okay. And that is definitely gaining traction over the traditional Hadoop MapReduce way, which still exists. It's not going to go away. The original MapReduce has its home, but we're seeing definitely the Spark catch lots of
Catching
attention.
Spark.
Yes.
It's on fire.
Pun intended.
Yes, and it really is, yes. So, Amr, if you take me 12 months from now, let's go fast forward.
Yeah.
What will you say will be the biggest accomplishment for the data industry? If we could do one thing as an industry, what would it be to move this whole world forward?
Yes.
And not necessarily like solving a problem, but making the data world leaps and bounds ahead of where we are. Yeah. What would we be doing?
Yeah, I would like to give you a very sexy kind of answer, but the truth is it's more of the same.
Okay.
So what is more of the same?
In practice, maybe.
Yes. In practice, what we need to do right now is there is a big lack of skills in terms of people that know how to work with this platform. So what we need to do over the next 12 months is essentially three things. First, we need to increase the amount of training out there, the amount of people that know how to work with this platform and understand the capabilities that it brings. Second, we need to enrich the ecosystem of tooling around this platform that makes this platform more accessible for business users and marketing users and science users and doctors and. So tooling around this ecosystem is very, very key. And then last but not least is to make sure that the consulting industry, the SI industry, is properly equipped to help the big customers solve these problems using this technology. And Cloudera, we are attacking all three of those fronts. On the technology side, it's really about resilience, how to make the platform more resilient, more reliable, and that's our top priority by far. Second is data management. This platform works with lots of unstructured data. Data management for the structured world was hard. Imagine data management for the unstructured world.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a very, very key challenge that we're hoping to overcome with our ecosystem over the next 12 months. And then the third key challenge is cloud. How do we make this technology work better with the cloud? Because despite our name being Cloudera, I will tell you today, almost 90% of our deployments are on-premise. They're not in the cloud. But we're seeing customers starting to gravitate towards the cloud for big data deployments. So how do we bridge that gap? And we just announced Cloudera Director, which is our first foray in that space of making our platform more friendly on top of cloud environments.
So was Cloudera, this is an odd question, and I'm going to preface it with that.
Yeah.
My spell checker, when I write the word Cloudera, separates it into Cloud Era.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that where the name came from?
That's absolutely what it is. The
cloud,
era of the clouds.
The era of the clouds.
Yes, that was our original premise.
That's a great spell checkers do it for me.
Yes.
But so if this is the cloud era, right?
Yeah.
It is the cloud era. We are.
Yeah.
Are we going to see more emphasis on the cloud sometime soon?
Yes, sometime.
Because it doesn't seem like we're really in the cloud yet.
Not for big enterprises and but if you look at most startups starting
They start
fresh,
natively, right?
They start natively.
The native clouders.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But obviously, big organizations, they have a lot of legacy and they have a lot of systems. They still have mainframes, right?
So they need to shift to that model.
Exactly. And our plan at Cloudera is to take them, is essentially solve that problem, right? So today we are deploying this capability on-premise, right beside their existing systems, which makes it easier to get data moving between these two systems. And then once we have that, the idea is we take that and migrate that into the cloud. Once we solve that initial momentum problem for them.
So that's the Cloudera.
Yes, but there is a twist to that. So actually, our original original pitch to investors 6 years ago was purely cloud. Like 6 years ago, we wanted to build a pure cloud environment where our customers would upload all of their data in the cloud and run everything there. Then we started talking to banks and big telecommunication companies and retailers and governments, and they said, no, we're not going to give you our data. So they're still not comfortable having their back-end data move into the cloud, but we think that will change. They will get more comfortable over time. It's just a matter of timing.
So is one of the biggest hurdles, though, security in that?
Yes, absolutely.
That world?
One of the key focus areas for us is security. Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Both on-premise. So today we're doing it on-premise, and we have a couple of months ago we actually acquired a company called Gazang, which specializes in doing private key encryption for security, and that's now part of Navigator Encrypt, one of the key products that we offer as part of our hub, that takes care of encrypting files on-premise and managing all the encryption keys around that. Very important for achieving PCI compliance or HIPAA compliance or whatever. Yeah. On-premise, but then we'll take that same concept to the cloud.
Yep. Excellent. Well, Amr, we look forward to working with you in the future and seeing where you take this.
Same thing. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me here.